At long last, it seems that lightweight tents are becoming truly lightweight, and one of the latest models on the market is Vaude's Power Lizard. It's a two-person tent, that weighs just over a kilogram. So it's 1,046 grams, which is roughly about 2.3 pounds. Now, for a two-person tent, that isn't bad at all. It's a hoop tent with two vertical poles at either end. It's pretty stable. In fact, I'd say it's very stable, and the lightness is really due to the fabrics that this tent uses. The outer tent is made from a 20 denier silicon coated polyamide ripstop nylon. It seems very, very flimsy, but it's very, very strong, very, very tough. And the inner tent is quite amazing. At first, it looks almost like a mosquito net, but it's not. It's very, very fine. It's a 15 denier polyester mesh, very permeable, so it's breathable. And I've certainly been in this tent when there's been quite a bit of condensation, and it's dripped onto this inner tent, but it's never actually come through. I've never been wet in this tent, despite being out in some pretty bad weather in it. But what the question that most people are asking about this tent is, a tent of this weight, is it big enough for two people, or is it really just a kind of glorified single person's tent? The inner dimensions are 90 centimetres by 228 centimetres, which probably doesn't mean very much to you, doesn't mean an awful lot to me. But I think more importantly, you can see that in here I've got two Thermarest mattresses side by side. And earlier this year, I used this tent on the TGO challenge when my wife and I crossed over from Inverie Neudat to St Cyrus near Montrose. And we used this tent for the whole 12 nights camping. Now, my wife is about 5'4", I'm about 5'11", so we actually found that it's actually quite comfortable. We are in the habit of leaving a rucksack outside the tent. We put the packs outside, cover them up with a pack cover, and that gives us plenty of room in the bell end here to do our cooking, to store our food, and all the rest of it. And it worked well for us. We were very, very comfortable. For two big blokes, it might be a wee bit tight, but I would think that for weekends away or for mountain marathons, two kind of largish people could cope all right. And if you want to go for longer, then you might find it just a wee bit in the tight side. For one person, it's absolutely luxurious. But certainly my wife and I found it absolutely fine for 12 nights on this year's TGO challenge. This hoop has quite interesting a little locking device here. These little clips hold the fly sheet up. Incidentally, fly sheet and the inner will pitch together, so it makes it quite easy to pitch. I think the tent can be erected in 5 or 6 minutes. And inside there's a kind of strengthening system. There's a cord system here which kind of increases the strength of this hoop design. And I've used this in some pretty wild conditions this summer, and not only has it not let any water in, but even in some pretty strong winds, it's pretty stable. So all in all, I think it's a pretty impressive tent. Very, very lightweight for two-person tent. Very, very lightweight for one-person tent. It's fairly stable as a three-season tent for hill walkers, for backpackers. Then I think it's absolutely ideal, and I think Vaude have done a tremendous job. And from what I hear, from what I can gather, they've just brought out a solo version which is substantially lighter. But for me, this is a tent that I'll be happy to use many, many times in the future.